What's going on, everyone? Tonight, me and my wife, Sarah, this beautiful girl right next to me, we're going to be reading Psalms, and I'm gonna try to get through the whole book here. Now, if you guys want to join in the future, you can, but tonight's just going to be me and my wife. So we're going to start with Psalm 1, of course, because we're going to get through all of it, and we're going to take turns reading them. Sound good? You okay?
Yeah.
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 You mean the whole book?
What?
Psalm 1.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to start at Psalm 1, and I'm going to do like 10 every time we do it.
Oh, so we're not doing the whole
No,
thing.
we're not going to do the whole thing in one go. That'll take about 4 hours to do it. That's just too much time.
You have to slacken.
Okay. So, Psalm 1, Blessings on the godly. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law doeth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So what is this saying to you? What do you think it's saying?
Don't put me on the spot. Nah.
You want to read Psalm 2 then?
Yeah. Starting with 1.
Mm-hmm.
Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? Kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree the Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Alright, keep going.
Yeah, what? To 4. Oh, no, to 3.
3.
Just right here, since the rest you got to read.
Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
So we see Psalm 1, it's talking about blessings on the godly. It's talking about those who walk in the path of the godly. God will bless them, and everything they do will be fruitful and multiply. And in Psalm 2, we see that his children will be the ones who reign, and the wicked, they'll be put away from the Lord. So going on to Psalm 3, the Lord protects his people. Lord, now are they increased that trouble me. Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help of him in God. Selah. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and thine lifter of mine head. I cried out unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me. Out of his holy hill, Selah. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid when 10,000 thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, For thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. Salah. So in Psalm 3, we see that God protects his people. When the wicked come up against him, God will keep them safe. All right, now Sarah's going to read Psalm 4. So you're going to read here to here.
Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. But know that the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed, and be still, Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord. There be many that say, who will shew us any good? Lord, lift thou up in the light of thy countenance?
Yep.
Countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety.
So, in Psalm 4, we see that there's safety and refuge in the Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we should always be focused on him. So Psalm 5, God abhors the wicked, or abhors wickedness. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God. Unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the murmuring. O Lord, in the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing to the Lord. Leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness, because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open scepter. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy thou them, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou, Lord, wilt bless the righteous with favor. Wilt thou compass him with a shield? So we see that God rejects wickedness. If you want to walk in the counsel of wickedness, God will reject you. But if you want to walk in the counsel of the righteous, God will be your shield. And he'll protect you, and he'll keep you lifted up. All right, now we have Psalm 6, which is a plea for mercy. Yeah.
O Lord, rebuke me not in thine
Anger.
neither chasten me
Yeah.
in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak, O Lord. Heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed, but thou, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Man, I wrote so weird. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of mine enemies. Part from me, all ye workers of iniquity. The Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly.
So in this, we see that David is crying out for mercy, and that part that's funny where it says like he's making his bed a place to swim in.
Yeah.
It's because he's crying so much, and he's upset, and he's brokenhearted, and he's just crying out to the Lord.
It's just weird how they wrote it.
It's just how he decided to write it.
Yeah.
All right, now we're on Psalm 7, a plea for protection from enemies. O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. Save me from all of them that persecute me, and deliver me, lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces. Well, there is none to deliver. O Lord my God, if I have done this, if there be iniquity in my hands, if I have rewarded evil unto him that was at peace with me, I have delivered him that without cause is mine enemy. Let the enemy persecute my soul, and take it. Let him tread down my life upon the earth, and lay mine honor in the dust. Selah. Arise, O Lord, in thine anger, lift up thyself because of the rage of mine enemies, and awake for me to the judgment that thou hast commanded. So shall the congregation of the people compass thee about. For their sakes therefore return thou on high. The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness, and according to mine integrity that is in me. O let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteous God tieth the hearts and reins. My defense is of God, which saveth the upright in heart. God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. The ordinance he ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit, and digged it. He has fallen into a ditch, which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and I will sing praise to the name of the Lord Most High. So Psalm 7 is a plea for protection from his enemies. We see that David is crying out, and he's asking for a righteous judgment. He's asking that his heart be judged. If he did anything wrong, that God would judge him accordingly and truthfully. And we know that David has a heart that's after God's own heart. So he always wants to be right with God. So we have Psalm 8, which is God's excellent name. And you have the floor. Woo! Woo!
Alright. O Lord our God, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above thy heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy in the avenger. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thine hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field, The fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the paths of the seas. O Lord, O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth.
Amen. So right here we see David proclaiming God's excellent name. And he's going through and he's basically saying God has made everything and ordained it that, we have dominion on this earth and God has given us that dominion. So it's something that God shares with us. He gives us dominion over his creation. So Psalm 9 is praise for God's judgment. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high. When mine enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou statest in thy throne, judgest right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out the name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end. And thou hast destroyed cities, their memorial is perished with them. But the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in time of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Sing praises to the Lord which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remaineth them, for he gathereth not a cry for the humble. So here we see God's judgment, and David is basically honoring him in his judgment, saying that it's perfect and what he's going to do with the wicked and with the righteous. Then it goes on to a plea for salvation. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me. Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which city they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nation may know themselves to be but men. Salah. I think what David is saying here, that he's asking the Lord to give grace and mercy to show people who they are, who we really are without God. All right, now, last but not least, Psalm 10. It's the last one we're doing for tonight. Sarah gets it. So here to here. It's the last one.
That's the longer one. Isn't it? Well,
No, it's about the same.
oppression of the poor. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boast, blah. I cannot say that word. Boasteth.
You say boasts.
Boasteth. Of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord. I don't know that word either.
Where is it?
Right here. Abhorreth.
Yeah.
Abhorreth. Abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all of his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, and the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. Can I read that part?
You don't have to.
No.
It's just the title of it. You can continue on. You got to read to here, though.
Arise, O Lord, O God. Lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou hath beholdest mischief and spite. To requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress.
Amen. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Psalm 10 again. I know she just read it, but I'm going to read it again because I think this is important because it has to do with a certain someone that is attacking me and Ryan on YouTube here. And it's got a lot to do with them. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in their devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart desires, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, though the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far off out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be an adversary. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor, when he draweth men into his nests. He cruncheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it. So that's it for today. And, you guys, John 5:39, Romans 10:14 and 7. So go check that out. And tomorrow, we're going to do 11 through 20, me and my wife. Or if anyone wants to join, we can do a hangout so we can get people on here. We can read the Psalms, talk about it, what we think it means, and what it spoke to our hearts. So may the Lord be with his children and with you. God bless.